What's up, everybody? I want to start this vlog off by sharing a little bit about myself, the person behind of what you guys are watching, and a few reasons why I love and hate this game, and why I started this vlog in general. My name is Matthew Jaramillo. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was an athlete all my life, played baseball as a little kid, but my main sport was football. I was a quarterback in high school, but got a full ride scholarship to play at New Mexico State University. It was fun, traveled all over the country, and got my school paid for, so that was the main bonus. Went to school for 5 years, got my medical degree, bachelor's in kinesiology. After I graduated college, I was a personal trainer from 2016 to 2018, just at a local gym here in Albuquerque. And then 2018 to 2020, I did physical therapy at a local hospital here in Albuquerque. As far as cards go, I learned at a really young age, maybe even 7, 8 years old. Both sides of my family are gamblers, so we would always play house games for nickels and dimes. So at an early age, I knew already what beats what. The game of poker, like the actual game of Texas Hold'em, probably started around 10 years ago. Going to casinos, winning, losing, just like anybody starting out playing cards. And I really started to watch these guys online on YouTube, like Brad Owen, Mariano, Rampage, Wolfgang, Lexo, all these guys just learning what they did and how they did things and what their mistakes were, and just learning the game of poker itself, really studying, not necessarily studying, but you know what I mean. Watching all of them kind of inspired me a little bit to want to try myself, try to film and vlog. And earlier this year, I turned 30 years old, so that was kind of like a spark on wanting to do something different. I was always told to try something new. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. So this is kind of like that new adventure that I wanted to try out. So that's kind of how this all started, this poker vlogging started, and why you're seeing right now. And that was just a little bit about me. Short version, I know, but don't really want to go on and on. I know I can, but maybe in the future, who knows, give a little bit more details about me. But right now, I'm going to give you the reasons why I love and hate this game. For one, like I said, I was an athlete all my life, and in this game of poker, there's no advantage to being bigger, stronger, more athletic, younger. In most sports, if you're more athletic, you have an advantage. Like, no one, average Joe, can beat LeBron James one-on-one in basketball. It's just not going to happen. But in the game of poker, I'm 6'5", 215 pounds, can lose a lot of money to a 70-year-old lady sitting across from me that doesn't speak English, not even from this country, whatever the situation may be. I just like it because there's no advantage. Everyone at the poker table has a fair chance of winning. I mean, take Chris Moneymaker, for example, winning in the early 2000s, the main event. Somebody that was just a random person, an average guy, winning one of the biggest poker tournaments in the world. I mean, that's pretty incredible. Another reason why I like this game is just the challenge aspect of it all. I mean, math was always my favorite subject in school growing up, and it's basically math. A lot of numbers, a lot of statistics, probability, stuff like that, and just kind of really brings out the challenge of something new, I guess you can say. If you did play sports, or whatever you did, this is kind of like a new realm of competition, I guess you can say. Brings out the athlete in me again. So that's kind of cool. The last reason is, if you ever played the game of poker for any amounts of money, the adrenaline, oh shit, hitting the mic. But the adrenaline that you get from putting a lot of money, whether it's a couple hundred to a couple thousand to hundreds of thousands on the table, the adrenaline, your heart just, it's kind of a cool feeling. I mean, winning money is awesome. Nobody likes to lose, but even losing money, like the adrenaline that you get is just pretty incredible. And again, the competitive side of you kind of comes out. The reasons why I don't like this game, as you'll see in this vlog, the hands you're about to see, is you just get unlucky. And sometimes you play bad, that's just gonna happen. But sometimes you just get unlucky, like sucked out on, two outed for hundreds of dollars, if not a lot more. and going home in the car just pissed off emotionally is not really the best feeling. And if you're thinking about playing cards, just know the ups and downs, the swings of this is painful, I guess you can say, but that's kind of the fun of it. Going up and down, winning, losing is just the name of the game. You can really play the best of your ability. No matter how good you are, you could be the best player at the poker table, but you might end up losing still. And that's just hard to handle sometimes. But that's enough of me rambling. I mean, I talked a little bit about me, just wanted to share a short video about myself, my background, and why I play this game and why I started the vlog in general. But on to the hands, hope you guys enjoy. And remember, I'm Matty Ice, peace out. All right guys, it's day number 6 of our Las Vegas trip, and we're headed to a new location, none other than the famous Caesars Palace. Right in the heart of the strip, right next to the Bellagio. Super nice place, super fancy. I don't know if it can compete with the Bellagio, but still really nice nonetheless. We get to this location around 9:30 p.m. It seems like every day we're starting our sessions later and later. At the beginning of our trip, we started playing cards around 7, 8 in the morning. Now we're starting super late at night. Maybe it's just as the days go on, needing to recover more and more from the day before and the night before playing cards. And maybe since it's later at night, the player pool is a little different. Maybe they had a few drinks already and more likely to splash around. So let's find out. When we arrive to the poker room, we ask for a 2-5 game and there's a seat open right away. There's only 4 other opponents, but still, we sit down. We only play about 4 hands at this table because the table breaks. I don't know, maybe I didn't smell very good and they all just left. We raised a pot and took down the blinds, so we actually win $7. So we go up to the front and ask for a 1-3 game, and sure enough, there is a seat available right away. So we start out with the $300 max and we take our seat. The first hand we get involved in, we barely have time to set up our phone, and we have ace-5 of spades in the small blind. Folds around to the cutoff, he limps for 3, and I raise to 15, and he makes the call. Heads up to a flop, and it comes king 6-3 with 2 spades. So not hitting a pair, but still a relatively good board for us. We have 1 overcard, backdoor straight, and the nut flush draw. As you can see in the top right, he has less than $100 in his stack, so we throw out a bet, $20. He thinks for a little bit and makes the call. The turn is an offsuit 9, so we still have 1 over and the nut flush draw. Less than a pot-sized bet left. We just put in a stack of reds and he pretty quickly folds. This next hand, there's 1 limper in middle position, and we look down at the beautiful pocket queens in the hijack. I raise to 15, the cutoff to my left makes the call, and the small blind min clicks it to 30. The middle position limper gets out of the way, and the small blind only has around $70, $75 left in his stack, and the cutoff has around 100, maybe 110 in his stack. So I know the small blind is going to call me if I raise, but I want the cutoff also to stick around. So I don't need to make it too big, so I raise to 75. Unfortunately, the cutoff does make the fold, and the small blind either goes all in or calls my bet. Not sure what happened, but all the money goes in nonetheless. And I'll let you guys sweat the run out.
Well, I thought he's calling me, so.
That's why I could have called it. I had ace.
You got it. Nice hand. It was a flip.
Classic coin flip situation. Pocket queens versus ace king, and he spikes an ace on the flop. What added more salt to the wound, when I was recording, I was looking through my phone, so I couldn't really see the board too well. I was just trying to get the best angle for you guys, and I knew I had 2 black queens. So when the river came, I could have sworn it was the queen of diamonds, and I thought I won, but it was the king, and he got 2 pair, aces and kings. But lucky for us, it wasn't for too much money. If we would have had the same size chip stack, it could have been a lot worse. At this table, there's a lot of short stacks. Even after losing this hand, I'm still the highest chip stack at the table. So we don't really need a top off, but I honestly highly recommend everyone topping off to the max amount of chips. For one, kind of like in this situation, if the guy would have had around $300 in his stack, I mean, it would have been the same thing. I raise, he re-raises. I mean, we probably would have got it all in eventually. So it's always a benefit, if you can, to top off to the max amount of chips or just have everybody covered at the table. So when you do get a good hand, you're able to extract max value. That's just my thought process on topping off and having the max amount of chips, or just have everybody else covered at the table. I've talked to a few people that play cards and they like to start with the minimum. I mean, that's just their strategy, but I don't think that's the best. I'm interested to hear what you guys think on this topic. What's better, starting off with the max amount of chips, the minimum, or maybe somewhere in between? Let me know down in the comments what you guys like to start with. Moving on to this hand, there's one limper in the field, folds around to the button, he makes it 12. We have pocket sevens in the small blind. We make the call, the big blind makes the call, and the limper calls as well. So 4 ways to a flop. And it comes truly the sign of the devil, 666. So we flop a full house, and we're in the worst position, which kind of sucks. And we contemplate betting, but we decide to check in flow. Kind of hoping somebody throws out a bet so it'll thin the field a little bit, but everyone checks around. Hoping for a card, maybe 9 or below, so we can throw out a bet, but it comes the 10 of clubs, so kind of on the border of not a good card. Everybody has an uncapped range, and 4 ways we decide to check again. And for a second time, it checks around. With all this passiveness, I'm pretty sure we have the best hand. So all we're really looking for is a super low card so we can bet. It does come with a 4 of hearts. So we're pretty sure we have the best hand. So we decide to bet, we throw out 20, and one by one, they all fold. Kind of unfortunate, the run out, but mostly my position being in the small blind. So flopping a full house and not getting paid, almost worse than losing. We're 7-handed at this point, and there's an under the gun straddle to 6. The guy next to act, under the gun 1, makes the call, and we have Jack 10 offsuit. This table has just been super passive, and I've been the only aggressor, so we're going to continue that image. We make it 20. Folds around to the under the gun straddle, he makes the call, and the under the gun 1, who initially limped, raises to 70. And this guy was your typical OMC to a T. I mean, picture the ultimate OMC, and that's what this guy looked like. I'm like, really? The old limp 3-bet? Really have aces or kings? I was gonna fold right away, but this video wouldn't be showing if I folded. So we're in position, and if the under the gun straddle makes the call, we're getting even better odds. And if we happen to catch a really good flop, we could potentially stack this guy. So we throw in 50 more, and unfortunately the under the gun throws his cards away. But we're still in position to a flop, and it's probably the best flop I can ask for. It's 10-8-7 with 2 spades. So we have top pair and a gut shot straight draw. And if our read is correct on the situation, he has aces or kings, we can still catch a jack for 2 pair, a 10 for 3 of a kind, or hit our gut shot. So worst case scenario, we have double digit outs. He leads out for $100, and I wasn't too sure if he was going to lead out because this board just smashes us. We could have all the sets, all the 2 pairs, and all the straights. And I instantly snap jam for about $140. My reasoning behind the snap jam was maybe the speed of my bet might get him to think about it a little more at least. But at lower stakes, people aren't really thinking of board textures and range advantages. And this player was no different. He pretty much snap calls. We know we need to improve, and he doesn't show his cards, so we really don't know what he has, but we have a really good idea. The turn comes a 7 of diamonds, and the river comes a queen of clubs. We flip over our hand, mostly to get the footage for the vlog, because sure enough, he has aces. It's kind of unfortunate the way the hand played out. I mean, we knew what he had, aces or kings, and we just happened to get the best board possible. There's still no excuse playing such a mediocre hand, or below mediocre hand, facing a limp 3-bet from an OMC. But still, having around 31% when all the money went in, it's not too terrible. He barely had us covered, so we get stacked on this hand, but we reload and buy back for another $300. If you made it this far, this is the hand of the vlog. Hope you guys enjoy. This is literally 2 hands later, and we don't even have all of our chips to play with. We still have a couple $100 bills that need to be exchanged. We're in the end of the gun straddle for 6 this time. The next to act calls, the cutoff calls, and back around to me, we have Jack 4 offsuit. Not really a great hand whatsoever, so we check our option. So 3 ways to a flop, and it comes Jack 4-10 with 2 clubs. Pretty good flop, wouldn't you say? Catching a really disguised 2 pair. We like what we see, so we throw out $20. The guy next to act throws his cards away, but the cutoff makes the call. And if the flop wasn't good enough, the turn is even better. It's the 4 diamonds. So completely out of left field, we catch a full house. And I'm not really scared about any river card, so I decide to check to him, see what he wants to do. And he eagerly bets $30. He only has around $80 behind, and the way he threw out the bet, his demeanor, he seemed to really like his hand. So I'm just going to let him do his thing, and I smooth call. I'm not even looking at the board at this point, to be honest. I'm mostly just looking at him to see if he likes the river or not. I already had it in my head that I was going to get all the money in, whether I was going to bet or he was going to do the betting for me. And out of turn, he jams his entire stack in. A little confusion at the table, but I obviously snap call.
I haven't done anything yet.
Oh, you go ahead, baby.
Go ahead, I check. I check.
I flip over my hand, and he stands up, looks at the board, and then finally flips over his hand. And that's when I realized the river was a frickin' 10 of hearts. And he shows 10-9 offsuit for a bigger full house.
I don't know what the chip situation was, but I think...
Fish.
I think he's out.
Oh my gosh. What the fuck?
I feel bad for you, though.
That's
I
disgusting.
flopped a full house, and I'm out.
That's
So sick.
That's unbelievable.
The rest of these players are on with 4s and 5s and 7s and 8s and 9s. I flopped a full house, and I'm out.
Yeah.
So sick.
That was very unlucky.
Call back.
Literally less than 5% chance of hitting. At this point, I'm just beyond disgusted. The dealer breaks my $100 bill, pays the man, and I just pick up the rest of my chips and leave. What's up, guys? Back in the room. Wow, what a way to lose $500 in 30 minutes, 40 minutes? Something like that. I know it wasn't long, but I mean, ace king versus queens pre-flop, get it all in. I mean, can't fall for that. Can't be mad about that, whatever. But the jack 10 off, I mean, he limps, I raise, and then he re-raises to 70. It's like, okay, like I know what you have, so let's play. I'm in position, so if I happen to get a good flop, I mean, let's do it, which we do. We flop top pair plus a gutter, and yeah, just get it all in. It's like, all right, I have double-digit outs, like let's try to crack these aces, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't catch our 2 pair or our 10 for 3 of a kind or our gutter. Like, I guess that's just running bad. And then the last hand, jack 4 in the big blind, miracle flop top and bottom pair. I mean, yeah, I turn a boat, force full, and he's so eager to get it in. I don't even remember the river. I really don't. I was like in my head on the turn, I was gonna jam, or we're gonna get it all in, or I was gonna get it all in. And we do, and I see the bad news. I mean, the river was a 10, so we had 10s full. I was like, oh my God. So after that, I was just done. I was like, how am I gonna win? You know, it's just ridiculous. It just wasn't my night, I guess. But I mean, yeah, it was a very short video. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this vlog, to be honest. We'll figure it out, but yeah, this is just raw emotions, trying to be transparent with you guys. The ups and the downs, the good, the bad. So, I mean, that's poker. That's the natty or not of all this stuff. I mean, the natty part, playing 1-3 lower stakes and getting sucked out on, or just can't win the flips, and the not so natty, I guess you can say, of playing 5-10 or bigger and winning thousands of dollars. I mean, these guys that you see, Mariano, Rampage, I mean, winning, losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you get normal people playing 1-3, 2-5, and yeah, the natty part of poker. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, or this entertained you, you learned something, or if you ran bad or just as bad as I just did tonight, then please give this video a thumbs up, because I need it after that one. But yeah, hopefully you guys have better luck on the felt than I did tonight, and hopefully you have a good one. I'm Matty Ice. Peace out.